Hey Renee, thanks for joining us. How are you?
No dramas. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Uh,
Getting
I
out the end
just,
of winter.
yeah, good. I just thought we should catch up. Obviously, finished off your website a week or so ago, so it's out there now. I just
Yes.
want to take the opportunity just to talk you through some of the stuff on it.
Yeah.
Talk through some of the stuff that's worked well, some of the stuff maybe that hasn't worked well for you.
Yeah.
So before we jump into that, what's the elevator pitch of Say Yes Fitness? Give me the this is what we do in 30 words or less.
Oh God, Jan. Whew.
Under pressure.
Put me on the spot. So Say Yes is about helping busy mums say yes to themselves and their health through regular exercise and health habit coaching.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Um, One of the things that I think made the process for me personally in building your website a lot easier was how much clarity you had already around what you are, what you do, who you help,
Yeah.
what the problems are of the people who you help. So, as part of the process, as you know, of getting
Yeah.
started with this, I sent through a form for you to fill out that went into a fair bit of detail on these
It
sorts of
did.
things.
Yeah.
So, I asked you basically all about your avatar, like who you're
Yeah.
for, what their pain points were, and the problems that we were trying to solve, how
Yeah.
you solve those pain points, what you guys do differently that no one else does, your unique selling proposition, whole bunch of stuff like this. Me asking you these questions, did you already know the answers, or did you have to go away and think about this?
It took me a few days to like I had the form open and I would put a bit, go away, put a bit more. It is something that I am familiar with, but this is why I reached out to you, because I know that you are familiar with what we do, and I know you can help me get clearer on what I do, because I have a lot of things. And I was just like, here, Dan, here's all my thoughts. Now you sort
Yeah,
that out for me. I
yeah.
don't know if you got that vibe from my
No,
answers.
no, I did, and it was perfect though. Like
Yeah. It
I,
was
I
very
was
much just a
able.
big, here's a brain dump of everything I know about my girls. This
Mhm,
is what I know about my avatar. But it
yeah.
was very like it was all over the
Now
place. And
you
I
work
still
out what
felt
to do
like,
with it, basically.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I was like, no,
and
you fix that.
yeah, and it was absolutely perfect. And
Yeah.
honestly, it made my job really easy because I could read through all the information that you had submitted as part of that sort of brief that you gave me, and I felt like I intimately understood your business, your clientele,
Yeah.
what you do, how you do it. So
Yeah.
that really helped. And then I was able to take the pieces of that. I'll actually talk through the website in a moment, but I was able
Yeah.
to take the pieces of that and say, okay, this bit goes here, this bit goes here,
Yeah.
and sort of almost
Yeah.
put those into a template that took a jumble of what you do and put it
Yeah.
into a coherent marketing message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
So
is what I needed.
yeah, and it was a really big help. Like you having all of that clarity was really
Yeah.
good, and I think that is why the end result came out as it did.
Yeah.
So let's do a bit of a walkthrough of this. So
Yeah.
what you can see here, of course, on screen is what we call above the fold. Is that a term that you're familiar with?
Yes, because I regularly watch and read your content.
Okay, cool. That's the right answer. So for those who may be watching this review who are not familiar with that term, it's basically where back in the day you'd be walking down the street, you'd see the newspapers folded at a stall at the corner of the street, and they're folded in half, and above the fold you see the headline and a big picture and some sort of controversial statement.
Yeah.
Exactly the same now with websites, whether you're opening this on the phone, opening this on a computer, what you see here is really important. Now, I'm actually going to skip ahead. We're going to come back to this and you'll
Yeah.
understand why when we get back to it. So
Yeah.
if we now scroll down the page a little bit, this first section that you can see here, who we're for, we say yes to, and we'll help you too, ... So
Yeah.
the who we're for that you can see on the left of screen here, this is basically where we are talking about your avatar.
Yeah.
The mistake that I think a lot of fitness businesses, but businesses in general make is their website is all about them. It's, hi, my name's Renee. I've done all of these
Yes.
courses and I have 2 kids and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
In the end, with all due respect to the business owner, our potential clients don't really care at all about who we are. They just want to have their problem solved, eh?
Yeah.
So what I've basically done here is describe as best I can from the information that you've given me who your avatar is.
Yeah.
And that is a description of that. And then it's gone on to say that if that sounds like you, Say Yes Fitness might be just what you've been looking for.
Yeah.
So we are speaking to your avatar. Then in the second column here, this is basically your thing that you do better than anyone else. This is your USP, your unique selling proposition.
Yeah.
So you specialize in ...
Yeah.
And what you specialize in is helping busy mums say yes to themselves and their health, making it easy to start, make it easy to continue.
Yeah.
So we've gone from, are you this sort of person? Well, yes, I am. This is what we do differently for this specific type of person. And then, of course, in this third column, we'll help you too. And this is basically where, in your brief, in the form that you completed for me,
yeah,
you let me know what the biggest pain points of your avatars were.
Yeah.
So, and I think you gave me a bunch of these, and I sort of consolidated these down to half a dozen.
Ones. Yeah.
So I think one of the things that you said to me was, a lot of the mums that you work with feel like they're torn between being a mum and being their own person, and maybe being a wife or a partner, and not having a lot of energy and feeling really unbalanced.
Yes.
So what I've done is to rephrase that pain point to a solution to the pain point. So the pain point is, I don't have a lot of energy and my life is unbalanced. We reframe that to, we'll help you to regain the energy to exercise and live a balanced life. Yeah. So now as your clients, as your potential clients go through the website, they will look at these and say, hey, these are the solutions to the problems that I have. And that's because you had such good clarity on your avatar.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's scroll down a little further now. And of course, there's a whole bunch of call to actions that we have through this, where people can click any of these and it jumps back down to a form at the bottom, which we'll talk about in a moment. Let's jump back up to the top here. So our next section is where we actually now start to talk about you and what you guys do specifically. Up to this point, everything we've done is about them. It's about who they are. It's about what you can do to help them. And it's about what their problems are, how you'll solve their problems. This is now more, okay, this is what we actually do. This is the product, the service that we provide. And I know in your business, you have that sort of three-prong model, and that almost that rule of three, it appears multiple times through your business. And I think that was initially why you chose this particular look and template as well. And I think it worked really well for that. So this is, how does it work? So now we're basically saying, we hear you, we hear your problems, this is how we fix them. And it's through group fitness, 8-week challenges, and your online community, which I know is really strong as well. So, and this is just a super simple, this is what it is. This is what our group fitness is. This is what our 8-week challenges are, our online community. The aim here is not to tell them everything about what you do. It's just to tell them enough that they can say, okay, I need to get in touch with these guys. And I think your old website, which had a lot of the good stuff in it, and it was a really good site, you were trying to tell them everything.
Everything.
And I think when I sent through the first draft of this, you said something like, you liked how pared back and simple and minimalized it was. And sometimes saying less is saying more. Hey.
And I think that was part of the reason for reaching out, was you get so consumed in, like, I just have so much info that I didn't know how to summarize it down. And now I'm like, well, fuck, Dan, that's
Is that all it is?
Just like that.
I think
it just gets a bit overwhelming without trying to think, website on all the technical side of things, and then words and good words and orders and simple so it's good.
I think it's almost a good metaphor for business in general. Like we start with a pretty simple business. Like when you started, okay, well, we just do group fitness, and it's for a bunch of mums that I know.
Absolutely.
And it's we head down the local park, and it's all your best mates who come down anyway. Then suddenly the business becomes more complex. And it gets out of control because you're trying to juggle too much stuff. I think in business in general, and with a website in particular here, what we're chasing is simplicity on the other side of complexity. And you almost have to go through that junk and that muddle in the middle where you go from simple to complex. And now let's systemize this and just have pure clarity.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Okay. So this is talking about what you actually do. We go down further. And this is where I love these photos you provided, by the way.
Thanks.
They're so good. I like the colors of them. And I know you're a bit like, I don't want to be on my own website.
I know. I want photos of my girls, but also
the
girls don't want to be on the website either.
I get it. So obviously here, testimonials, the social proof. You had some really good testimonials you were able to provide from your girls. So I was able to cut some of these down a little bit. It's easy to have a testimonial that is a few paragraphs long, and it's awesome for the 2% of people who read it.
Want it,
yeah. So this was a big key testimonial here, and I made sure that all the testimonials, or the little bits and snippets of your testimonials I chose, basically came back to overcoming these pain points or your unique selling proposition. So again, the testimonials are a way of helping to reinforce what you have already said, but in their words. And again, some more testimonials there from those guys. So this bit here is I'm really keen to talk about, because this is something that you have built since I did the website handover.
Yeah.
It's
still a work in progress, but yes.
Yeah, cool. So
I very much, I'm like, well, don't wait for it to be perfect. Get it up there,
just chuck it up there. I like that.
Keep ticking away at it, and So
cool.
This is where we're at.
Excellent. So as part of that handover to you, I basically gave you a PDF document of your owner manual, basically. Like if you go and buy a car, they hand over the keys and say, here in your glove box here's how the car works. Talk me through. Cool. So talk me through how, talk me through how that has worked for you. Did that manual help in terms of some of the training resources to be able to now take control of this?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I think when I first saw it, I don't think I realized that you would provide that, but I'm like, of course Dan would provide that. Provide me with the manual. Here's all the processes. I think it was the thought then just become the idea of, okay, well, I can take control of this website, that the stress level went down. As soon as I got that email, I was like, oh, there's a manual. Sweet. Like I know
here's how to drive it.
So and I think as well then and I haven't read it in great detail. I just gave it a quick skim, and then the software, I suppose what do you call it? The app that you use to the website. It's very intuitive. And so at first when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness. But once I had a bit of a play, and I think that's the thing.
Completely.
And not waiting for me to, again, I'm just like, don't wait to read the whole manual. Don't wait to know everything. Just get in there and give it a go. Like I can't mess it up, really. And if I do, I could just be like, Dan.
Help Dan. Exactly. Yeah.
So and this little, that's what, it was kind of handy having this little extra section down there, because then I could mess around with this and know it wasn't going to mess up the whole thing. So I've just been adding images, putting some words in, doing like changing colors, like things like that, and then it was nice and easy.
And that's how I learned this initially as well. So I mean, I'm not a web developer by trade. I'm not even a business mentor or coach by trade. It's because I've done this and made all the mistakes. And it's how I learned to build websites. Is I would start and I would try something and then see what that broke, and then go and fix it. And then I'd try something else and see what that broke. And if I make this pink, then what does that look like on the actual website when it loads up? So it's something that just keep playing with it, like keep getting in there, and you'll get better and better and better at it. And I like the fact that you feel like there was less stress and you had that ownership. I started this website building digital marketing sort of part of Range of Motion because the clients I was working with from a business mentoring capacity, this was the problem that all of them were having. And there were 4 main problems that I identified with what was out there at the moment. And one of those problems was the ownership. And the fact that a web developer builds a website for you, and then you don't really know what to do, and you have to then go and pay them $500 every time you want them to put up a new blog or something stupid. Yeah. So yeah,
but that was the other good thing about how you've set it out. Like it has its structure. So, it's not like I'd ever mess with you've got the structure and everything. And if I added anything or changed anything, it would be down here, really. The top of it works now. And if I wanted to, I don't know, put something different in, but I just feel like it's really minimized the room for error because I've got the structure. Yeah. And I understand how the page works and how.
And you can just fill in the gaps.
Yeah. So now I'm like, well, previously my website was like, oh, maybe I should have this at the top and that down the bottom, this on the next page, and blah, 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 blah. Now I'm like, well, none of that matters. Yeah. Because this is the structure. Yeah. And that in itself has made every time I think, okay, well, I'll just go make a tweak on my website. I don't have to think.
Where does it go?
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's really, really simple. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It takes 5 minutes to make a change, not 5 days like it used to,
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I'm glad. And you now having that confidence of, okay, here is how you put forward a marketing message, and you follow these steps. And really, I mean, I provide 6 different templates that are like vastly different that different businesses can choose from. And although to the untrained eye, they look completely different. And yes, visually they are completely different. In the end, I could be talking you through a completely different template now, a completely different website I've built. And I would say, hey, here is a description of your avatar. Yeah. Here is your unique selling proposition. Here are the pain points, because that marketing message is a through line that goes through it all. That's right. Let's go down a little further here. How can I find out? So obviously this is the call to action, and this is basically where people can fill out a form, they get in touch with you. And this is the whole point. Like we are not trying to make the sale on the website. On the website, we are trying to say to people, hey, here's what we do. Here's who it's for. Here are the problems we solve. Should we chat further? And all it is just a way for you to then say, right, I can now have this conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like this for a few reasons. For my avatar, especially, I was kind of against. I was like, oh, I don't know about this, Dan. I don't know about this. These women, they don't have time. We don't have time for this faffing about. Like, if they want to purchase, they need to purchase. So I was really worried about this, but I think it's a nice and warm invite. It speaks well, and like getting mums on a phone call is actually really hard, because aligning schedules. Schedules, this schedule, that, it's like impossible. But just having a place that they could email quickly isn't the start of the conversation, right? So this has been a really good way to capture and see how many people are actually interested. And connecting, connecting to the message, rather than having no idea if people are. You don't know if your website's working. This lets me know people are reading it and going, oh yeah, I want more info. And sending
cool.
That's probably the most powerful thing for this.
Have you had some inquiries through this?
Yeah, like it hasn't been that long since you've finished this, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah. And we've had like close to 30 leads.
That's great.
Which is for me, that's a lot, right?
It's huge. Yeah, it's huge. It's really good. Yeah.
So that's like a steady, almost daily. There's a couple of leads coming through.
It's excellent.
And, I don't, on the flip of that, I don't expect to convert all those leads, because I understand this is like the next step to their journey. And
it's just starting the conversation, as you said.
Yeah. But also, and then at least I've got an email address, I've got a name, I've got a question in terms of I understand their pain point, so I can answer their questions a bit more.
It gives you control now.
Yeah, so much more control.
Yeah, cool. So I love it.
That's been really, really good. And I suppose in the past I haven't had great success with contact forms, but that's because it wasn't set up in the right, it didn't take people on a journey. And this was the clear call to action kind of thing. This is the clear call to action. Previously, it was just this random contact us page on the website. Whoever goes there, nobody.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I'm stoked that you are getting the leads from this, because in the end, it looks cool, and the color scheme, like I love the color scheme that you have in your logo. It's just like, I just love how it looks. Yeah. But in the end, it's not a piece of art. It doesn't exist. as a piece of art alone that someone stands back and looks at it. In the end, if people aren't filling out that form, it's not doing its only job.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that people are filling out the form and you're getting leads coming through daily, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's jump back up just to finish off here to the above the fold. This is basically everything that I've just gone through with you in one little bit. So we help busy mums. There's your avatar. Say yes to themselves and their health. There's your unique selling proposition. We offer group fitness in Bayswater, 8-week challenges, and an online community that tells people where you are and what you do.
Yeah.
Then there's a call to action. Scroll down to learn more. So this is like a microcosm of the entire website. And really, theoretically, you could have just this. You could have only the above the fold stuff, and then the contact form, and you could probably still do okay. Obviously not as good, but this is everything evaporated down into just this top bit. And that's key because people, especially in the 2020s when attention spans are down, people aren't going to look at this and say, let's read this whole thing. They're going to get the gist of it, and that first impression counts.
Yes. Especially again, for my avatar, they don't have a lot of time to be surfing about on websites. So the clear call, I think it is. It takes them on a clear journey. It has one clear call to action, not a million. And then that's the first step. And then from that, then I give them the next call. I give them the next thing, and I think that's, again, it works really well with my avatar because they are so busy. They don't know what to do next. And so this is it. It's like, do this first, and then we do this next, and then we do that. And so it simplifies it down for them.
Right.
Which is
cool. Nice. And then, of course, we have the blog page here, which I'll just, we won't actually talk about, but this is obviously great for your search engine optimization, people searching for your content. I know that a lot of your blogs talk about people's pain points and stuff. So you have your blogs in here, which are great. You're nice and consistent with the coloring and the branding here. Again, just a way for you to position yourself as an expert in a certain field. And each of these will obviously take them to the page and the article and stuff here. So cool. That's it. Thank you so much for making the time to have a chat through this.
No dramas. Thank you very much, Dan.
Oh, of course. You're absolutely welcome. Any closing thoughts or anything?
Well, worth it from start to finish. Nice and simple. The process, you're very, very good with your processes, Dan. It was nice, easy.
I have to be.
Yeah, that's it. But it also, I suppose I took my time to get the information to you as well. I didn't try and sit down and think all the answers at once. I just like trickle fed it through that form, which I think worked. Like, I could leave the form open and come back to it a million times. Yeah, great. That really worked. And it's just so much clearer and so less cluttered, which is nice. Yeah. I'm glad you love it, and I'm glad it's working for you. Like, I'm glad those inquiries are coming through. Awesome. Thank you. Beauty. Thanks for your time. No dramas.